Okay, so hey, this is part 2 of my American Idol's live review from Rochester, New York. This was originally supposed to be part 3, but I lost part 1 because I had a hectic day when I was recording part 1. My brother came down and was like, I need a ride. I'm like, what the hell? So, um, and then I came down and then the video, I must have like exited out of YouTube and then the video that I uploaded wasn't there, and so whatever. So basically what I talked about I think it was the first 4 songs. I talked about a bunch of other crap that's not relevant at all. The first song was Born This Way. They did it pretty good. I enjoyed it. Pia sang Empire State of Mind, and then she sang California Bed with Stefano, which is good. The only thing that I really want to address was for Paul McDonald's Maggie May. Holy crap! This made me love him. I was not a fan of him on the show whatsoever. I just did not like him. He just reminded me way too much of Taylor Hicks for some reason. I just did not want that for American Idol again because Taylor Hicks, I mean, what the hell is he doing now? I've never heard of him since the day they announced that he won. I haven't heard crap about him, so he reminded me too much of him. But he was freaking good at the concert. I mean, holy crap! And he was funny too. Like when I went, like him and James were drinking a little bit, but he was pretty funny. And I actually met his parents at Dinosaur Barbecue up the street from the arena, which was pretty cool. They were wearing American Idol badges, like backstage passes or whatever. And we went up to them. We're like, "Oh, did you get to meet the American Idols?" And they're like, "Oh, we're Paul's parents." And we're like, "No freaking way, awesome." So I think that was kind of weird how they were at the Rochester concert. I guess that this was what? No, I don't want to watch it. That was my grandma asking me if I was going to watch the Casey Anthony, George Anthony, and Cindy, I think. Okay, off topic. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I met their parents. That's weird how, met his parents. It's weird how, uh, they were at the Rochester show and they're from Alabama. You would think they would have went to like Nashville or whatever. I guess were busy, but I guess they said that they went on vacation for Niagara Falls and they got tickets to come to the show. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so from my last video, I left off. I was talking about Casey Abrams. Almost at the end of the second act. Casey Abrams sang "Smooth." I've heard the song before. I think it's a little bit. It's an old, not old song, but it's like maybe like early 2000s. I think. I don't know. I mean, I've heard the song, but He came out and he had bass, and he did like really cool things that he does, and yeah, that was really good. And then um was this is actually funny. Oh, this is funny. Okay, so the next song that they did was the next song was, oh my god, I keep thinking of Casey Anthony now. God damn it! I want to say Casey Abrams, not Casey Anthony. There's a big difference. Holy crap! Casey Abrams and Haley Reinhart, the amazing Haley Reinhart. Whew! My favorite. My favorite. They sang "Moanin'." They sang that at the results show. Amazing. Actually, this performance wasn't as good as the one they did on the show, but it was so good. She like came out and she like, I kind of felt dumb because I was sitting at the side and I could see her, and it was like supposed to be a surprise for her to like come out. Not like people. Not like people didn't know that she was gonna come out because if they were a fan of the show, they knew that she sang the song with him. But it was supposed to be like a surprise. She was supposed to like pop up, and she was like hiding and she was like crouching down, and like without me even thinking, I was like, "Yay!" And she kind of like looked over and she was like, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Hey, I got her attention though. But I thought that was funny. I was just like laughing at myself. Oh jeez, but yeah, that was good. It wasn't as good as it was on the show, but it was still good. And then, ooh, this was the good one. Casey sang "Harder to Breathe." it was so good after he sang Mona, he like sat down and he was like, oh, it's getting a little hot in here. It's getting harder to breathe. He did a really cool. He did it very different than he did it on the show. Actually, he didn't have. He had playing guitar or bass. I think it was bass. I'm not sure. But he didn't have that, and he was just there singing, and he was just like running around the stage and doing like this little thing he does with his arms, and wow, you know. It was great. I liked it. I actually wasn't a fan of him on the show. He was another one that reminded me too much of Taylor Hicks. I just don't want anyone like Taylor Hicks. No, don't like him. Ugh, worst American Idol out of the 10 seasons. Taylor Hicks, by far. Second, Fantasia. I know a lot of people would hate me for saying that, but I just do not like Fantasia's voice. Okay, and then the last song of the act was Forget You. This was not that great. The song is great. I love the song. I love the song. But just them singing it together just was like, just whatever. Okay, so I'm just not gonna talk about that. They wore red coats and it looked really cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this done fast. I'm probably not going to be able to because I want to say a lot about these next ones. Okay, after intermission was Lauren Elena's Flat on the Floor. This one was okay. She was out of breath the whole time. She said that afterwards she said she was crying backstage the whole time, so whatever. It was still okay. You know, I know all the words because I listened to it a lot on my iPod, so I was singing along, but she was out of breath the whole time, so it kind of ruined it. Then she sang like my mother does. This was fantastic. This was probably the best one she sang out of her three solo songs. Her mom was standing out on the backstage area because where I was sitting, I could kind of see backstage, and her mom was standing. Her mom was actually standing out there. Whenever she was up there, she was standing out there, and she stood out there for a couple other people. Like I remember, she was out there for Jacob. She was out there for Scotty for a little bit, and she was out there for a couple of other people. Maybe James. I think he was out there. I don't remember. But she was standing out there, and it was really cool. So you could actually see her singing to her mom, and it was really sweet. She great pitch. And then with If I Die Young, she's with backup Stefano, Thea, and Haley. I never actually have seen of all the footage and stuff. I've never actually seen her have a relationship with Haley. Like I know that they were the final two girls, and they were there since top 8 week to top 3. They were together. They were the only 2 girls, so obviously they had to have some sort of bond, being the only girls, because there's only so much bonding you can do with a guy. When you're a girl, it's vice versa with guys. There's only so much bonding you can do with girls. You know, the same sex has a certain bond that you can't have with the opposite sex. So I assume that they had a great relationship. Um, I don't think that they did not like each other. I did not. I've never. I know some people thought that just because of Lauren getting through and not Haley, but I really think they have a good relationship. They were living together for a long time, but they never actually really showed that on the camera. They would always show, you know, the big thing was with Casey and Haley. They always showed them together. They always showed Lauren and Scotty together because they want us to believe that they're dating, but they're not, obviously. And they would show different things like James Stefano, but they wouldn't ever show Haley and Lauren's relationship. Not even after the show and all the stuff I've watched on YouTube. You know, normally Lauren is with Pia or she's with Thea, or I know she's really close with Paul. They always show her with those things. They never ever show her with Haley. So I was just thinking, you know, maybe they just don't have a lot in common. They don't click. Not that they don't like each other. It's just they just don't have stuff in common. But what I saw is I saw a different side. So this concert, it was twice during If I Die Young. Even though Haley was just sitting there and was doing backup, I could tell that her and Haley were definitely very, very close, and I could definitely tell that it was very hard for Lauren to say goodbye to her. Um, it was, I don't know, she looks kind of, you could tell she's kind of started crying, and she kind of was getting really breathy, and in the middle of the song, when she walked up to Haley, completely broke character, and was just like, oh my god, and she gave her a big huge hug while she was in the middle of singing, and you could tell Haley was a little flustered too, you know. She was like, oh. So you could tell that Haley really cares about her, and Lauren really cares about um, Haley. And it was just very sweet. And then another time was when they were out signing. Lauren was kind of a little flustered. She was a little upset, And Haley was out signing, and Lauren just went up to her and gave her a big, huge hug, and they were hugging for like forever, and it was very, very cute, very cute. I mean, it was very, very sad, but it was adorable, and I really liked how I got to see different sides of them that you don't get to see on the TV show, and that was great. Okay, next up was James Durbin singing "Sweet Child of Mine." This is a song actually that I've never actually heard of. It's more a little bit too old for my generation, but it was very good. He came out all the way in the back, which is actually really cool for the people who were back there, so they could actually see someone up close. Unlike the people like me who had really good seats, got to see everyone up close. So if there's any James fans out in the back area, they probably were happy. And he came out in the back and he like just ran through, and they had tons of security guards. It's ridiculous. Who freaking cares? Just let him go. What's gonna happen? I mean, come on, get beer thrown on him? Like, really? Like, I don't think James would really care. I think, honestly, I think if beer got thrown on James, I think he would have been. I think he would have thought that was so cool. I think he would be like, "Whoa, dude! Someone spilled beer on me. It was freaking awesome!" Like, I think he would enjoy it. I think he would find that funny. Um, but yeah. Or if like someone like tried to grab him, I think he would think that was cool. That's the kind of guy James is. He likes, you know. He was drinking beer on stage. At first I thought it was Pepsi. Then I looked closer and I saw that it was beer, and I was like, oh, geez, James. I don't know if he did this for every show, or if he only did it for the last show because it was the last show, so what the hell. But it was funny, I was laughing. But fantastic. I really wasn't a fan of him because I was real big Haley fans, and really, for some reason, Haley fans were Haley fans, James fans were James fans, and they didn't really mesh. So, I still like him though, but I just, during my time watching the show, I ended up liking Haley stuff better, even though James stuff was good too. Fantastic. Then he sang Uprising, which was freaking, ooh, I love that. He did so good. I don't remember which one he did the back bend on, but I think it was the first one. But he did like a back bend, and then he did his high notes. His high notes sound a lot better live than they do on the show. On the show, it was kind of like, just shut up. Just shut up. Like, why are you singing high? Like, it just sounds bad. But in the stadium, it sounds good because of all the cheers and woohoo! And it kind of like echoes out, like the pitchiness, so it sounded great. Okay, so next up was Jacob Lust. He sang Never Too Much. Never heard of their song. It was a Luther song. He's too old for my generation, so whatever. He's still singing great. Lauren and Lauren's mom were actually out in the backstage area watching him. I don't know if Lauren has a close relation. I mean, obviously they all have close relationships with each other, but they all have different relationships. I guess Lauren's really close with Jacob because she was out there the whole time he was singing. She wasn't even out there when Scotty was singing, which I thought was weird, but maybe she was. I don't remember. Maybe she was on the other side because I didn't see her on my side. Okay. It was okay. Not the best, but not the worst. I already said the worst was Animal. God damn it. Okay, Jacob Lusk sang You're All I Need to Get By. I like this. He sang this on the show. I was familiar with it, so I thought it was fantastic. Backup vocals were Naima Anatapo, Juani Langoni, and Pietro Scanao. Okay, and this is where the fun begins. Haley Reinhart singing House of the Rising Sun. Yes! Yes! Woo! 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 Holy crap! Amazing! Holy crap! Woo! Woo! I was, oh my god. Oh, sorry, she was just so amazing. Oh my god. I wish I had a voice like her, and I wish I had her freaking body. She's gorgeous. My dad, he came with me, and he always thought Pia was the prettiest. But after the concert, he said that he thought Haley was the prettiest. Prettier than Pia. He said, for some reason on the show, he said that she didn't look as pretty as she did. Yeah. But holy crap, oh my god, she was so good. Oh, Words just can't even describe how amazing she is. Oh my